All right, good to see you all this afternoon. We are going to need a bolster at some point later on. So if you don't have a bolster, go get some blankets and roll them up to create kind of a bolster there. And then your usual props, you'll need a strap, 2 blocks, and your blanket to sit on, okay? And we will use a wall as well at the end. So just make sure you have all those things ready to go. A wall space can either be, a full door, if that works, or just a small a space at the wall where the short end of your mat can go up against. Okay, so we're going to take a seat now and have your block and your strap close by. We're going to sit for a few minutes here. So if your legs start to get a little bit, achy or whatever, you can feel free to just stretch the legs out and then come back when you need to. Okay, so just a little side note there. Let's just take a seat and close the eyes. And when you sit, make sure you're sitting on something high enough that you can sit up properly and the knees start to come down a little bit more. So you're kind of releasing the knees down below where the hips are, if that makes sense. And then you're sitting right on the edge of your blanket or your block, or even your bolster is fine too. And then feel as you press the top of your thighs down, the pelvis beginning to tilt forward. This is a anterior tilt. So the front of the pelvis, the pubic bone is lengthening down towards the floor there. And then notice the weight as you sit. You should feel your sit bones there underneath you. And you want to feel like you're sitting just slightly in front of your sit bones. And once you bring your pelvis into this neutral alignment, feel your spine gently lifting and begin to let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. And as you do it, try to imagine that your shoulders, your arms are full of helium. So it's not tension, but they're floating very lightly, buoyantly up. And then take the head of the arm bone here and move it back. And as you move the head of the arm bones back, start to feel the shoulder blades gently engaging on your back. Slide the hands more towards the top of the thighs and feel the chest broaden. And then pretend you've got a very comfortable headrest behind your head and gently glide your head back, lifting the base of the skull slightly. So notice how we worked our way from the ground up all the way through to the top of the head, aligning each body part one at a time. And essentially, this is what we're doing in every posture as we come to it. We're working from the ground up. Whether we're seated here or in any other posture, what we're practicing is to bring the body back into its most natural alignment. And when the body comes back to its most natural alignment, that's when healing can happen. When we're out of alignment, it's very taxing on our system, very taxing on our body. So just take another few moments here. Scanning your body with your awareness from the ground up and feeling each body part aligning Shoulders stacking over the pelvis, the head stacking over the shoulders. Now draw the hands together at the heart, lifting your heart as you gently bow your head down. And then lift your head, releasing the hands, and let your eyes open. So if you need to stretch your legs out for a moment and bring them back in, feel free to do so. Otherwise, just stay where you are. We're going to start to circle the shoulders. Okay, now as you circle your shoulders, use your arms as well. So you get this huge range of motion going in your shoulder joints. This is the area we're going to be paying a lot of attention to today. So huge circle, shrugging them up and back. And then as they go to the back, can you feel the shoulder blades again? Squeezing onto your back. Now add in the breath. So as you shrug the shoulders, take a big inhale and feel the lungs expanding. Okay, now go the other way, up and forward. You might start to feel already the shoulder muscles getting a little bit tired. Okay, now go back the other way again. And then just rest your hands once your shoulders are back there. Close your eyes again and just pause and feel. Just notice what you're feeling in your shoulders. Maybe you feel some heat, some tingling. Okay, so let your eyes open, grab your block. Take your block out in front of you. Okay, and you're going to hold it like this. Let me come in a little closer so you can see. So it's like that between your hands. Okay, and then you're going to do a couple of rounds of this action here. So you're unplugging your arms from the shoulder sockets and then plugging them back in several times like this, unplugging and plugging. And just notice when you do it, the feeling that you get all the way in your upper back. So I'm going to turn with my back to you so you can hopefully see my shoulder blades as I do. See my back? Yes. Okay. So plugging in like this, unplugging, plugging. So you're engaging those rhomboid muscles between your shoulder blades. And again, you probably start to get a little tired with this. So just take your time. And then next time you plug the arms in, hold it there. And then keep those arms plugged in. Squeeze the block between your hands and slowly start to raise it up alongside your ears. Can you, when you raise your arms up, can you move the inner biceps back first? The inner shoulders back first. And then reaching up. Good. Okay, release it down. Put your block to the side. Let's all switch positions. We'll come into Virasana. So grab your block again and take a seat in a kneeling position on your block. And Yvonne, you can sit on 2 blocks, whatever height works for you so that your knees are okay. Okay, now open your arms out to the side. And then touch the tops of your shoulders with your fingertips. And we're going to keep going with those shoulder circles again. So huge circle. And as you circle, can you touch the elbows together and then raise them up towards the sky there? And just focusing on this range of motion in your shoulders. Use your breath to help. So as you raise the arms up, take a big inhale. Surprising how challenging something as simple as this can be. So reverse it, go the other way. Just feel that heat starting to build. And then reverse it one more time. Go back behind you again. And then rest your hands on your legs, pause again, close your eyes. And just feel and notice the sensations in your shoulders, maybe down a little bit more into your arms, maybe your hands as well. Okay, now we're going to keep the shoulders back here. So let me come close again so you can really see. So the main actions of the shoulders here, most of the time, without realizing it, we're like this, right? We're kind of rounded down and forward. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but I really want you to see it. Look at my collarbones poking out. So we're going to go like this. We're going to inhale and float the shoulders up. So now can you see across my shoulders, it's level. Now they're not rounded, right? Then you're going to exhale and take the head of the arm bones very gently and move them back. Now I'll do it again, but with my back to you so you can see. So inhale, little shrug. Head of the arm bones back. Now the shoulder blades are gently engaged on the back. You should be able to see them there. Okay, now maintain this and then turn your head and look all the way over your right shoulder. Keeping your upper back gently engaged. Just feeling that good stretch in the neck there. And then turn and look all the way over the left shoulder. So your shoulder blades, when they stay on the back there, and your shoulder girdle is properly engaged, it prevents from kind of pulling on the neck muscles. So keep going a couple times each way, turn all the way to the right again. So it's important to start to learn that our posture is supported from our back body. If our back is strong, the spine has a proper support. Good, go the other way. Now come back to the center. Check, make sure your shoulders are properly in place, and then take the right ear down to the right shoulder this way. Just feel that good stretch in the neck there. And then slowly place the right hand on your left ear. And just a little weight. You don't have to pull on your head here. Just the weight of the hand is enough to deepen the stretch. And just relax into it, letting tension start to release. Allow yourself to get lost in the sensation. So it's like if we only did this one thing for the entire practice, it wouldn't matter to you because you're so absorbed in the sensation. Now stretch your left arm out to the left, fingertips reaching. And you can, if you can touch the floor, maybe you won't be able to because you're on your block, but just reach those fingertips out. And then take your hand away first and lift your head very slowly. Good. Check, make sure your shoulders are in the right place, and then left ear to left shoulder. Just leave the head there first without taking your hand. Notice. And then slowly take the left hand, place it on the side of the head very lightly. And allow the weight of your hand to release slowly, so it's not forceful at all. Get absorbed into the sensations. And when you feel ready, you can take the right arm and reach the fingertips out to the side. Good. Take the hand away and slowly lift your head. Mhm. Good. Okay, now find your strap. Take your strap out in front of you so you're holding the buckle in one hand, and then your hands will be about shoulder and a half width distance apart. Now it's the same plugging and unplugging thing here again. So try to keep your fingers open and hold the strap between the thumb and the index finger so you're not clenching your fists. And then you're going to unplug the arms and plug them back in several times. Unplug and plug. Good. And again, feel from the fingertips this time all the way up your upper arm bones and into your upper back each time you plug in. It's like you're pulling energy from your fingertips all the way into your upper back. And then the next time the arms are plugged in, hold it there and start to raise your arms overhead, pulling that strap really tight. There should be no slack in your strap at all. Good. And then bring it back behind you. So you might have to adjust the distance between your hands so you can keep your arms straight and reach back with the palms turned up. Good. And now keep going slowly. And again, paying attention to your upper back as you move your arms. So it's as if your arms actually begin at the inner edges of your shoulder blades. Good. Now, if it's getting easier, bring your hands in a little closer and do a few more. Good. Keeping that quality of effort and ease, right? So you're working enough, you feel the correct engagement, but you're not pushing or forcing or rushing. You're slowing down. One more round slowly. Good, okay. So there's a couple more things I want to do, but let's do a quick down dog first because I feel like your legs might be getting a little tired or stiff. So just take a moment and come into downward facing dog there. And then we'll come back to it. Then when you come up, just pedal out your legs and your feet. Check your feet are parallel to each other and about hip width distance apart. And then bend both knees quite deeply. And with both knees bent a lot, press the very top of your thigh bones back. Press them back. Yes, that's it. So you feel like you're untucking the pelvis and getting that same forward tilt of your pelvis, that same anterior tilt. Yes, lifting and broadening the sit bones. Very nice. Good. Okay, come on down to your knees. Take a look here. I'm going to do my best to show you this from the right angle. So you might want to come as close to the screen as you can. Okay, so this is the action we're going to work on with the arms in our down dog today. So index fingers are pointing forward. The hands are a little bit wider than the shoulders, and I'm clawing with my fingertips as I come up. Now, I'm going to bend my elbows out to the side, and notice I'm bending them quite a lot. Okay, then as I bend my elbows, try to see, hopefully you can see my upper back. I'm going to lift my armpits up. So I feel like I'm hollowing in my armpits here. Instead of sinking and collapsing in my armpits, I'm lifting them. Now I'm going to push the inner edges of my hands down, and then I'm going to keep my elbows bent and squeeze the elbows back in as I push the floor away and extend my arms slowly, keeping the lift of the armpits. So my arms and my hands all the way to my upper back are working like crazy. Okay, so I'll just show you what that would look like if I didn't do that action. Something a bit more like this, where I'm just maybe locking out my elbows too much or just sinking and collapsing here. Okay, so I'll show you one more time. Bend the elbows out to the side. Notice how much I'm bending. Lift the armpits up. Squeeze the elbows in and push the mat away, and slowly straighten the arms like I'm pushing through cement to straighten them. Okay, so give it a try. And if you feel like it's a lot of work, then you're on the right track. Your arms should really feel like they're working like crazy with this. Okay. All right, so once you're in your down dog, bend your knees and press the top of your thighs back and maintain that action. Now check, look at your hands and check that the hands should be slightly turned out with the index fingers pointing forward. And then you're pushing the index finger knuckles down. Hands are just a bit wider than your shoulders. Okay, now bend your elbows out to the side, stick them out to the side, and lift your armpits away from the floor, like you're shrugging your shoulders or moving your armpits towards the front of your mat. Good. Now keep your elbows bent and your index finger knuckles glued to your mat, and then start to squeeze the elbows in towards each other, keeping them bent, and then slowly push the mat away to straighten your arms slowly, keeping the lift of the armpits. Good. You're rolling your inner arms towards your outer arms as you push the index finger knuckles down. Press the top of your thighs back. Good. Do it one more time. Bend the elbows, stick them out to the side. Push the index finger knuckles into your mat as best you can. Lift your armpits, like your armpits are full of helium. Lift them up. Good, and then keep the elbows bent and squeeze them back in towards each other, and then push the mat away to straighten the arms slowly. One more breath here. Now push the top of your thighs back. Press the base of your shins back, your ankles back. Okay, come on back down to your knees. Nice, you guys. We'll keep working on that today. If there's any questions that come up, just ask me, okay? You can always unmute yourself. So come back to sit on your block again. And we'll do just a couple more things here to open the shoulders. So put your strap over your right shoulder and take the right arm out in line with your right shoulder. Now we're going to do this plugging and unplugging action again. So draw from your fingertips and plug the right arm in and then unplug, and keep doing that just with the right side. Plugging and unplugging. Like you're pulling energy from your fingertips all the way into the upper back. Next time the arm is plugged in, hold it there. Now, external rotation rolls the inner arm towards the outer arm until the palm turns up. Keep your elbows straight but not locked, and pretend you've got a very heavy weight in your hand right now and you don't want to drop it. It has to stay plugged in. Good. Now, very slowly, the palm is facing the back of the room as you sweep your arm alongside your ear. Now take the left hand, grab the thumb on the inside, the fingers on the outside, and help that arm to externally rotate. So the palm turns more towards the back of the room. The elbow tugs in towards the side of your head rather than sticking out this way. And then you're pushing the arm bone back with your hand to extend the arm up and back. Now, once you've got it there, let go and hold it on your own. And you're going to feel how difficult it is, right? To externally rotate. That elbow wants to ping out. So squeeze it in, stretch it up. Take another breath. Good. Now bend the elbow and grab the elbow with the left hand and press it back. Press the head back against your arm there. Try to keep the chest open. And then you can grab the strap with that right hand. Should be there over your shoulder. Take the left arm out to the side. Inwardly rotate the left arm and then reach it back behind for either for your strap or for your fingertips if you can reach. You don't need your strap. Now, once you've got either your strap or your fingertips, pull your hands apart from each other a little bit. Press the head back, and again, just allow yourself to get really absorbed in the sensations. Hugging that right arm in towards the side of your head there. Just a few more breaths. You might start to feel that heat bubbling up a little bit more. Maybe it becomes a little more uncomfortable. Try to just breathe into it. And then let it go very gently and circle out your shoulders a little bit. Good. So if you needed the strap, put it over your other shoulder so it's ready for you. Take your left arm out and plug and unplug a few times. So there's a big difference between raising the arm up when it's plugged in and just throwing your arm over your head, right? There's no connection when we do that. So next time it's plugged in, hold it there. Feel that shoulder blade on the back. Good. Now roll your inner arm towards your outer arm at the very head of the arm bone, and then eventually the palm will turn up. But you're not trying to turn the palm up. You're trying to externally rotate the upper arm, and then the palm follows. Keep it plugged in and start to raise it up slowly. Try to brush your arm right by your ear. Right by your ear. Now grab it with the other hand and give it a little help. Have the thumb on the inside, the fingers on the outside, and use it to help you draw your elbow in and then press the arm bone back. Press it back. You might feel one side is very different than the other. So once you've got it, let go with that hand and just try to feel it on its own. And breathe and notice if your face is getting a little tense or your neck, try to relax those areas and reach up. Now bend the elbow and grab the elbow with the right hand, press it in and back. If you need your strap, you can grab it with that left hand and then take the right arm out. Turn that right arm in as you reach the hand behind your back, either grabbing strap or fingertips. Good. Now again here, pull the hands apart gently. So you feel the muscles firing up a bit more when you do that. Press the head back. Keep that left elbow in. And breathe. Just a little bit longer. And then ever so gently let go. Bring your arms down, just shake them out a little bit. Whew. All right, let's go back to down dog. And each time we go to a down dog today, we're going to practice that little sequence. So pedal out your legs again if you need to. Keep your knees bent. At first, push the top of the thighs back and then bend the elbows out to the side. Stick them out like wings and lift the armpits away from the floor. Don't let your armpits collapse. Now keep the lift of the armpits, elbows bent, and squeeze the elbows in. This is what we just did seated. External rotation, and then push the mat away with your index finger knuckles. Keep the elbows hugging in as you straighten your arms slowly and powerfully. Roll the inner arms towards the outer arms, but keep the inner edges of the hands glued to the mat. Roll the inner arms to the outer arms, but keep the inner edges of the hands glued to the mat. Nice, you guys. Okay, walk forward slowly. And fold over here with your knees bent. Just relax here. You can take hold of opposite elbows and gently sway. Now relax your arms, your neck. Feel your torso just releasing out of the pelvis. And then come back to the center, release your arms and lift the chest halfway. Bring the hands to the shins as you do that. And then draw the shoulders back. And then hands to the hips and rise all the way up. Good. Now just stand to face me for a moment here. I'm going to do this on my knees, but so I can see you, but I want you to just do it standing. So now bring your arms by your sides, feet parallel. So now the same little arm, shoulder action. So take an inhale, let the shoulders float. Now when we shrug our shoulders, also feel how it makes you taller, right? You're literally lengthening from the side of the waist, like you got hooks on your armpits and you're getting taller, you're getting pulled up. So lift, 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 take the head of the arm bones back and engage the shoulder blades. Now this time, turn the palms forward and feel external rotation, right? Inner shoulder rolls towards the outer shoulder. Now you can turn back to face the top of your mat there, standing in Tadasana, and keep the arms in that position. From the back of your heart, inhale and sweep your arms back behind you, out to the side and all the way up. So you have this huge wingspan with your arms. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, lift the chest halfway, lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank. Good, now hold your plank here, shoulders over the wrist, and do the same arm action. Bend the elbows a little and stick them out to the side. Now push the index finger knuckles down, and then externally rotate the upper arms and push the floor away to straighten your arms powerfully. So again, you're rolling the inner arms to the outer arms. Claw the mat with your fingertips and then slowly come forward and all the way down. Take your hands one on top of the other and just rest your forehead for a moment. Take a few breaths. And then come onto your elbows with your fingers interlaced. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Gently interlace the fingers, press down through the forearms. And then move again the head of the arm bones back and try to soften your upper back forward a little bit or in a little bit. And then tuck your chin slightly and press your head straight back. So you're not letting that chin creep up. Tuck it a little bit and glide the skull straight back. And then again, soften the upper back in. Just let it melt. Now we're going to tuck the toes under and start to push the kneecaps down. As you push the kneecaps down, let your thighs and your pelvis lift off the floor. And then lift your knees so you're in plank on your elbows now. Now firm the body here. So hug the leg muscles to the bones. Lift your belly, lift your ribs. Press the head back. Try to evenly distribute the effort throughout your body. Now you're going to start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, pushing down and forward into the elbows and coming into dolphin pose. Now, as you push your forearms down and forward, press your chest back towards your legs. Push the mat forward with your forearms and move your chest back. Stay here or walk in another little baby step. And again, push down and forward. And then walk back to plank slowly. Hold it again. Good. Now bring the knees down and the thighs down. Leave your elbows where they are and take your hands to the corners of the mat. Bring them flat. So the forearms are slightly turned out. Now push down and forward with your hands. Squeeze the elbows in. Tuck your chin a little and come up to straight arms. Now push the inner edges of your hands down, but roll the upper arm bones out, external rotation, and then soften again at the back of the heart and glide the head back. Now stay or walk your hands backwards and come up a little bit more. And then melt again. And slowly come on down. Take a rest. So the slower we go, right, the harder it is. It's way easier to move fast, way easier to rush through. But when we rush through, we are literally skimming over the surface of what we're doing. So I invite you to continue to practice slowing down and being more and more present. So let's do this one more time. Bring your elbows under your shoulders and interlace your fingers. Good. Now draw the head of the arm bones back and let the back of your heart soften towards the front of the heart. Tuck the chin down a little bit and press your head straight back. So you can keep your hips down, Yvonne, for this first part. Yeah, just focus on this little cobra pose position. Good. Now, Olivia, tuck your chin down a little bit more. There you go. Press the head straight back. Right. Now tuck your toes under. Push your kneecaps down and start to lift your legs off the floor and your pelvis and come into plank pose on your elbows. Lift your hips. Now pull your belly in and pull your ribs in. Lift your hips, Yvonne, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. Yes. Okay. Now walk forward with your feet towards your elbows and lift your hips into your dolphin pose. Walk forward. That's it. Now, as you're walking forward, you're pushing down with your forearms and forward. and pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Yvonne and Olivia, bend your knees more, bend your knees and push the top of your thighs back like you did in your down dog. So your spine is not rounding. Come on down, you guys. I want to just show you that quickly. So just watch the difference. So if our back is rounding in this position, we're actually not going to do ourselves any favors. Okay. And that might look something more like this. Right. So I'm actually going the opposite way to what I want. So if you bend your knees and you push the top of the thighs back, see now how the spine is more aligned, and then I can press my chest this way with my knees. And then as you get a little bit more open, you can straighten your legs without rounding your back. Okay, so for now, if you feel your back rounding, just bend your knees. Let's try it one more time. Just go back to your dolphin pose there. Mm-hmm. Exactly. If you notice yourself tucking your chin, lift your head up a little bit and look slightly more forward instead of back. That's better, Olivia. Walk forward, bend your knees a lot, push the top of the thighs back and feel your spine unraveling. That's better. Good. Now hold yourself there. Make sure your feet are parallel. Pushing down and forward with your forearms. Move your chest back. Some of you might feel you could step forward a little more. You can do that if you're ready for it. Yes, and then walk back to plank. Hold your plank again. Shoulders over the elbows. Tone the legs. Lift the belly. Try to feel your pelvis is in neutral. Good, and then very lightly bring the pelvis, the knees down, untuck your toes, open your fingers and place your hands about the width of your mat with the fingers pointing towards the corners of the mat there. Now feel how your elbows are in. Push down with your hands and forward and start to lift your elbows off the mat, squeezing the elbows in. Elbows in. Unlock your elbows, Mariko. They're locking them. Unlock them and then squeeze them in without locking them. It's going to feel for you like you're bending them more, and that's fine. It does for me as well because I have very hypermobile elbows. That's good. Now move your skull back and let your upper back soften in. And then if you have a bit more range, walk your hands backwards a little bit more and keep going. Now feel the arm actions, you guys. Lower arms are turning in. It means the index finger knuckles and the thumb mounds are glued to the mat while the upper arms are turning out. Roll your inner shoulders to your outer shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in. Good. Exhale, come down slowly. Take a pause. And press back to downward dog. Once you get to your down dog, bend your knees. Bend the elbows, stick them out to the sides. Push the inner edges of the hands down and lift your armpits. Keep your elbows bent. Squeeze the elbows back in towards each other and push the floor away to powerfully straighten your arms. Good. Now inhale and lift the right leg up behind you. Try your best to keep your shoulders level with each other as you bend the right knee and open up the hip. So you have to lift that left armpit more so it doesn't collapse. Press the outer left hip down, back, and then straighten the right leg. Square the hip and step the right foot through between your hands. Now have a block close by here and come into your high lunge position. So back leg nice and strong, descend a bit more into the front leg and then pick up your block between your hands. And then you'll come to an upright position And then extend the arms out in front of you like we did seated. Now draw from the fingertips and plug the arm bones into the shoulder sockets and raise your arms up alongside your ears. And reach up, maybe even curl back with your upper back. Powerful legs here. Exhale, come down. Go back through downward dog. Elbows bent to the side. Lift the armpits. Squeeze the elbows in and push the floor away to straighten the arms, hugging the elbows in. Inhale, left leg goes up behind you. Bend the knee, open the hip. Try your best to keep those shoulders level. Outer right hip pressing back. Straighten the left leg, square the hip. And step the left foot through. High lunge, second side. Good, lift your back thigh, find your block. Square your hips and then come up slowly. Extend the arms out in front of you. Squeeze your block between your hands, plug the arm bones in and raise them up alongside your ears. Squeezing that block and moving your inner shoulders back first, inner biceps. Reaching up. Exhale, come on down. Plank pose. Lower yourself all the way down. Leave the hands next to your chest for cobra. Rest your forehead. Shrug the shoulders up and back and just curl up about halfway of your cobra. Now, once you get halfway, stick those elbows out to the side again and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. As you exhale, take the head of the arm bones back, squeeze the elbows back in and curl up. Curl back from your upper back. Good, and release. Now rest here. A lot of work on those arms today. Now you're going to scoot yourself over to the left side of your mat. Take a block. I'm going to try to just instruct this, and then if I need to show you, I will, but I'll just try to instruct it. So now, once you're on the left side of the mat, you're going to take your right arm and extend it out to the right. You have a block, so you're going to put your head on it. So scoot that block underneath your head. Now look at your right arm, make sure it's at shoulder height, and plug that arm into the shoulder socket. You can watch me first if you like. Turn your head, look away from that arm and rest your head on your block. Now you're going to come up onto your left fingertips and start to push into the left fingertips and roll onto your right side. And then you pick up your left foot and put it on the floor behind the right leg. So now you've got this big stretch in the front of the right shoulder. Okay, just make sure that that arm stays at shoulder level as you go. The head should feel like it's resting and relaxed on the block. The left fingertips are right next to your chest and you're using them as leverage, so you're pushing down. That's it, Olivia, keep going there. That's good. Now the last phase here is to take the left arm and stretch it up towards the ceiling. Keeping the palm facing forward, reach that left arm back behind you. So now you feel the external rotation in both arms there. Good. Keep the palm turned up, Yvonne. Turn the palm back the other way. Yes. And try to feel how that's external rotation at the upper arm. Okay, come on out very slowly. Rest on your belly. You can move your block away. Take a pause. And just pause to integrate what we've been doing. Let the sensations bubble up so that they can come up to the surface to be released. And then scoot over to the right side of your mat. Have your block ready. Extend the left arm out to the left at shoulder level. Plug the arm into the shoulder socket and then turn and look away from the arm and rest the side of your head on your block and come up onto the right fingertips. Now you're going to keep your right fingertips close to your chest. So the elbow is bent here. And you're going to push into the right fingertips and start to roll onto your left side. Yvonne, bring that right hand much closer to your chest, much closer in, and push down. It'll be much easier from there. Yeah. Slowly roll, bend the right leg and put the right foot on the floor behind the left leg. Good. Just feel your way there. This side might feel completely different from the first side. Always honoring the differences. And if you have a side that feels tighter, stay longer on that side. Give that side more of your attention. Even if I tell you to come out and your body wants to stay longer, just stay, okay? Now, last phase, take the right arm, extend it up, keep the palm facing forward and reach it back behind you carefully. Relax your face, relax your jaw. And again, giving yourself full permission to slow down. Good. And then slowly release, rest on your belly again. Good. Come on up to sit. Grab your bolster. And just watch here. So I'm going to put my bolster on my mat and have the hip points towards back edge. So my legs stay down on the ground. I don't let my thighs come up on this one, okay? I'm going to start in Cobra, so you can just watch the whole sequence before you do it. So you'll have your fingertips on the floor and then just let your forehead rest. Stick those elbows up in the air and then slowly lift up. Your bolster will help you in the pose. It will give you a little bit of a lift in your belly. So that's the first stage. Now, the second stage, can you keep your body where it is as you pick your hands up and extend them back? So you're really engaging your back body and your core. And then the next phase, bend the knees, grab the ankles and kick the legs back. So the thighs are pushing down into the floor on this one. And you're using your legs to open your upper back and your chest. Even here, can you feel the upper arms externally rotating and the back of the heart softening forward? Okay, So that's what you're going to do. We'll do it 3 times. So I'll come and watch you. Just get yourself into the right spot on your bolster. Bring your forehead down and come onto your fingertips. So the fingertips are on the floor, on the outside of the mat, just on the outside, not too wide. Stretch the legs back and start by coming up into cobra. And just feel what does the bolster do? It helps you. It gives you a bit of a lift in your belly, helps you to lengthen your tailbone. So now, can you keep your upper body up exactly where it is? Pick up your hands and sweep them back behind you. Just keep your legs straight for the first one, palms facing down. Draw your shoulders back. Good. Now, second phase, now bend your knees, grab your ankles, flex the ankles here and kick back. Yvonne, so let go for a second and scoot your hips back more. So when you kick back, your thighs don't lift. You're just a little too far forward, that's all. Now kick back and then soften those elbows. And can you find external rotation in your upper arms? Roll your inner biceps towards your outer biceps. Or outer arms, sorry. Tuck your chin and glide the head back. Thighs have to stay down there, thighs down. Good, okay, let it go. So Yvonne, I'm wondering if the bolster you're using might be a little bit too soft. It's not giving you as much as you need. Maybe you can put a blanket over the top of that or something just to make it even more firm. Okay, you can try that. All right, let's do it again, you guys. So come onto your fingertips. Keep those thighs down and lift up to cobra first. Take your time, keep your chin tucked and press the head straight back. Nice. Now seamlessly pick up your hands and sweep them back behind you. Good, Yvonne, tuck your chin down, tuck your chin down. Look down more towards the top edge of your mat. And then just press the head straight back instead of lifting. Yes. Now last phase, bend the knees. Keep those thighs down, grab the ankles and kick back, kick back. Thighs rooting into the floor. Now use your legs to open your upper back and your shoulders. Can you find a bit more external rotation in the upper arms? And then let it go. Yes, beautiful. Rest again. Very nice. Just relax completely as you rest. Okay, last one. Come onto your fingertips. From the moment you start lifting up, try to keep your chin tucked. So fingertips on the floor, just on the outside of the mat. Push down into the fingertips and lift up. Right, now sweep the arms back behind you seamlessly, palms facing down. Tuck that chin again and glide the head straight back. Last phase, pick up your feet and grab your ankles and kick back. Good, now this time, once you find all your actions, can you soften? Can you actually relax within the shape? And just stay and surrender to it. And then bring it down slowly. Good. Well done. Move your bolster, press back to down dog. Feel those arm actions. Do the best you can to keep practicing them. And then walk or hop forward to your hands, top of your mat. Inhale, lift your chest halfway. Bring the hands to the hips and come up all the way. Okay, so grab your strap and make a loop with it. A small loop, so it's just as wide as the inner shoulders. So that's like this wide. Not too wide, but not too narrow. Yeah, and then it's going to go around your wrists, behind your back. Okay, and then once you've got that, you're going to stand with your elbows bent and your thumbs just resting on the butt there. Now remember our little shoulder actions here. So keep your legs engaged and firm, and then shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Draw the head of the arm bones back and squeeze your elbows towards each other behind you. Good. Now start to straighten your arms back behind you, just trying not to lock out those elbows. Pull the strap apart with your hands and lift your arms up more, away from your back. Take the shoulder blades down and lift the sternum bone up, lift the chest up. And breathe. And bring it down and rest. Whew, it's a hard one, so shake it out. And we'll do it one more time. So hold the strap on your wrists, bend your elbows, and bring your thumbs to your hips. It's important to start with the elbows bent so we can feel what's happening in the upper arm. So now shrug your shoulders up towards your ears first. Big shrug, huge shrug. Good. Now take the head of the arm bones back. Squeeze your shoulder blades powerfully on your back. Squeeze your elbows together. Good. Now keep that and straighten your arms slowly. Pull the strap apart between your wrists and lift your arms up behind you. Notice how when you take your arms up, it wants to take your body forward. Don't let it. Lift your chest up, press your head back, and take the shoulder blades down the back, like you're going more towards a back bend in your upper back. That's it. Unlock those elbows. Nice. Now, widen your feet apart, bend your knees, take your arms overhead and come into a forward fold, taking the arms up and over. And once you get there, again, find that same action. So shrug the shoulders up, draw them back, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back as you take the arms over. Some of you might be ready to straighten the legs a little further. If you straighten your legs, try to keep your belly in contact with your legs. Good, and then come on up slowly. All right, let's take it to the wall. So slide the short edge of your mat up against your wall. Okay. So we're going to face away from the wall and just come up into our L pose first. So you place your hands just a little bit forward of your shoulders, and then why don't you just watch me for this first one so you can see how I go through the arm actions. So I'm clawing with the fingertips and bending the elbows again to the side so I can press the inner edges of my hands down more easily and soften my upper back. And then to straighten the arms, I'm going to squeeze those elbows in, push the floor away powerfully, push, 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 externally rotate the arms. So now before I've even gone anywhere, my arms are powerfully engaged. So I can push up easily because I've got my arms super strong and just walk up halfway pressing the chest back. And then again, push the index finger knuckles down, externally rotate the arms and lift the hips. Push the floor away. Okay? So prepare, come to your hands and knees, and I will talk you through it. So again, check your hand placement, because the hand placement is going to impact everything above. Turn the hands slightly out. Point those index fingers more forward. Yvonne, turn your hands out a bit more. Turn them out more. Yes, there you go. Now, index finger knuckles, you guys, right here. Look at my hand for a second. Index finger knuckle and thumb mound. Push those down. Bend your elbows out to the side and push the index finger knuckle and thumb mound into the floor. Yes, now squeeze your elbows back in and push the floor away to powerfully straighten your arms, externally rotating the upper arms. Now with your arms super strong, just simply lift your knees, walk up the wall, and press your chest back towards the wall behind you. Claw the mat with your fingertips. There you go. Lift your hips to the sky. Now, once you're up, go back through your arm actions. Slightly bend the elbows if you can, and push the index finger knuckles down again. Good. Then externally rotate the upper arms, push the floor away, and lift those hips even higher. Lift the hips, push the floor away, and lightly come on down. Take a child's pose. Good. So the more you understand the dynamic actions of your hands and your arms, the lighter you're going to feel, right? If you're not pushing down into the earth, then you don't get that rebounding effect where the weight rises back up. Instead, you just feel like a heavy weight down into your wrists and down into your hands. So we're going to do it again with the option to lift one leg when you come up. So come to hands and knees. Index finger knuckles pressing down. Try not to skip over this, you guys. It takes you, it forces you to slow down, which is the whole point, right? So bend your elbows to the side. Push the index finger knuckles, thumb mounds into the mat. Now externally rotate upper arms and squeeze your elbows in and push down through the floor with your hands. So your arms are so powerful now. Now lift your knees and walk up. Now you have the option just to keep both feet on the wall here, or lift the right leg up over the hips and reach it like you're doing a little half handstand there, and then switch legs. Otherwise, just keep both feet on the wall. That's completely fine. Push the floor away and then come on down lightly. Child's pose again. Now this time in child's pose, stretch your arms forward and then externally rotate your upper arms and turn the palms up. Turn the palms up. See if you can get all your fingernails to touch the floor, even those thumbnails. To feel that action in the upper arms. Inner arms rolling towards the outer arms. And then keep that, but from the elbows down, turn the palms back down. Okay, so some of you will want to repeat that one again. Others, if you're ready, you can watch me here. You can turn around, prepare your arms first in the way we've been doing. Elbows sticking out, external rotation, plug in. Step 1 foot forward, push the earth away. Push the earth away. And maybe you come up. Arms, so powerful. So that's an option for those of you that feel ready for it. If you're not quite ready, continue with your L pose, okay? And just work those arms. I'd rather you do L pose and do it properly than go into handstand and just kind of be all floppy and lose the integrity. So just take your time. Be careful there, Yvonne, because I know you've got just a little small wall space. Gina, how are you doing over there? I can't really see you. I can only see your head. Yes, Yvonne, good. Now work those arm actions. Index finger knuckles, thumb mounts, pressing down. External rotation. Now push the floor away. Push down. Olivia, great. That looks really good. That's it. Good. Christina, nice use of the blocks there. So take your time coming down whenever you need to. That's nice there, Gina. Good. Now external rotation. Elbows in. Elbows in. Push the floor away. Chest towards the wall. Very good. Okay, take your child's pose. Okay, so last big pose here on the elbows. So you'll need your block and your strap for the first one. So put your block up against the wall. You'll have to take your strap loop, keep the loop, but just make it a little bit bigger. And then just watch me for the first one. So your loop will go this time in front of you, around your upper arms like this, just above your elbows. Your forearms will be down on the mat and your hands will be like this with your thumbs and index fingers around the corners of the blocks like this. Okay, so now just watch me. So the strap's nice because it keeps your elbows in for you. So it gives you some stability and support. So we're gonna take a time to prepare again, shrugging and plugging the arms in, and then we'll lift up, push the block into the wall and walk in. And again here, if you feel your back rounding, I'd rather you bend your knees and push your chest back towards your thighs. So that might be enough for some of you. Some might keep going, shoulders over wrists, or shoulders over elbows, sorry, and then lifting up. Push the inner edges of the hands down and slide the heels up the wall. Okay. So that's an option for some of you if you're ready for it. Otherwise, just do the first part where you walk in. Okay, it's already a lot on the arms and the shoulders just to walk in. So place your hands. Just remember the beginning of the posture, right before we go anywhere, is the time to pause, to slow down and to feel. It's your preparation and it's going to determine how you move forward into the posture. So if you rush or you miss that, then you're going to miss little details that make a big difference. Looks good. You guys take it at your own pace. Walk in as you're ready. Remember, the head does not come down. The forehead or the top of the head does not touch the floor. So push down, make sure that's not happening. Push the floor away. Push your chest back towards your legs. And then come out when you're ready, or you can kick up if you're ready for that. Just be slow and mindful. Take your time. How are you doing, Olivia? Nice, Christina. That's it, Yvonne. That's good. Now slide your heels up the wall and squeeze your legs together and push down with your forearms. Push the floor away so you feel lighter. Good, Gina. It looks good there. Hips lifting to the sky. That's it, Rachel. Okay, be careful then, Olivia, with your shoulders. Rest if you need to. We're almost done. So come on out. Olivia, you can lay with your legs up the wall if you're done. All right, so those of you that are still going, you've got the option to do one more with or without the strap around your upper arms. And I'll give you a minute or so to do that at your own time. Good, Christina. Now lift your tailbone up and pull your ribs in. So you create more of a straight line from your shoulders to your feet as you, yes. Good. Good. So now, Yvonne, make sure your elbows stay in, your hands stay flat on the floor there as you lift. I would also lift your head, Yvonne, when you're kicking up, look forward, look towards where the block is when you're kicking up. Look that way. Keep your head looking towards the floor. Good, Mariko. Now see if you can squeeze your legs together and take your feet off the wall to create more of a straight line with your body, and see if you can start to work on your balance. Lift your tailbone up, squeeze your legs together. Finding your center, finding your pelvic floor balance. That's it. Okay, you guys, start to make your way down. You're still going. And you can turn around and lay down on your mat and just relax there. Good. Now just bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees open, and rest your hands on your belly. And just feel everything softening now, just unwinding all the tension, the stuck energy that we worked with today, that we brought up to the surface now, these last 5 minutes as your body's time to integrate, to release, to let go, and to reset. So just take a little easy twist to each side. I'll just let you do that at your own pace. Simple twist. And when you're done with your twist to each side, you can set yourself up for your Shavasana. So when you're ready for Shavasana, feel free to put a little blanket or a pillow under your head. Maybe a bolster under your knees. Spread out wide so your legs are about as wide as the mat and the arms are open with the palms up, and just go over the arm actions. A little shrug, slide the shoulder blades one at a time underneath your back, and then turn the palms up and let go. And as you rest here, noticing how the mind likes to wander. So knowing that, we have to give the mind an anchor. You have to give the mind a focus point. So bringing your attention inside your body. And resting your awareness there. Again, allowing yourself to become so absorbed in the sensations. The sensation of your body in contact with the mat. The sensation of your breath as it comes and goes. So you're training the mind to come back home to your body. The body is always in the present moment. And so in yoga, we enter into our deepest self through the body. The body is the doorway. And layer by layer, we unravel, exploring the deeper levels of our being. And when we come into the present moment, fully absorbed in the body, we feel moments of bliss, moments of just joy, not because of anything on the outside, but because of what we've discovered on the inside. That deep inner resource that is always there for us to tap into and draw from. And the more control we have over our mind, the less reactive we are to the little things as they come up. Right? They just pass by and we're not paying attention to them. So we are strengthening the mind through this practice. And when the mind is strong, as well as the body, we feel like we could do anything, we could overcome anything. So slowly wiggle your toes and your fingers. Take your time to gently move again. Just really going at your own pace as you bend your knees and roll off to your right side. Just rest there for a moment. And slowly start to come on up. You can push with your left hand and lift yourself up. Grab a block or a blanket to sit on. One last time, adjusting your shoulders. So you just get into the habit of doing this even when I'm not guiding you to do it. It's a little shrug, drawing the head of the arm bones back gently. Feel the upper back engage. So the shoulders feel buoyant. And then on top of that, glide the back of the skull back softly. Bringing your body back into its most natural alignment. This is your resting place. And drawing the hands to the heart. Lifting your heart as you bow your head. Lift your head to honor each other and all beings. Namaste. Thank you so much, you guys.